This week, inflation is decreasing and GDP is increasing. In response to this economic situation, it is important for Congress to gauge the economy to make the best decisions on how to implement fiscal policy.
Right now, the production of goods and services is increasing without causing prices to rise, allowing for high input without straining resources. Until this situation changes, Congress should continue to stabilize the economy by increasing taxes and decreasing transfer fees.
The Federal Reserve can also implement the monetary policy by increasing interest rates, reserve requirements, and open market conditions. These actions encourage consumer spending while controlling the amount of money that people will have to spend.
High interest rates encourage Begonians to take their money out of their banks to spend it, while higher taxes allow for more of that money to go back to the government.
Increasing the government's income and decreasing government spending allows them to hold on to that money, giving them a better chance of success when the economy needs it. Good morning, Begonia. This week, the economy has taken a minor turn. GDP is still increasing, but inflation has started to rise. Begonians are now spending more on goods, but their incomes are still rising. This shows that a change in the economy occurred, causing the fiscal and monetary policies to need restructuring to be effective. The government can continue implementing the same fiscal and monetary policies, but taxes and interest rates need to increase to keep demand from increasing. Also, increased but limited government spending can help businesses keep up with demand without increasing it. We're now to Abby, who is interviewing one of the affected Begonians.
Hello. Excuse me, how have you been affected by the natural disaster?
It's just been really hard. Me and my family, we lost our house, we lost our car, all my Begonian products have disappeared. We don't have our garden anymore. We were living off that garden. That is where we got our nutrients, our food, and we don't have that anymore. It's just, I hope this adjustment period can be helpful for all Begonians who have been affected.
Thank you so much for your time.
The impact of natural disaster has hurt insurance markets, government, and natural resources, as well as budgets in the supply chain. With indirect destruction of assets like homes and businesses, tourism and construction are facing major setbacks. Fiscal policy is immediately implemented with an increase in government spending to fund disaster relief and expansion. There will also be a decrease in taxes and an increase in transfer payments to avoid families struggling with loss. The monetary policy will decrease interest rates and reserve requirements, along with monitoring the financial system and the amount of expenses, as well as loans that recovering citizens will demand. Inflation may strike due to interruptions in the supply chain and reconstruction, specifically with individual businesses and homes separate from the government. There will also be a flexible policy to lower interest rates in order to aid in economic recovery. This all should help Begonia recover from the hurricane as efficiently as possible. Good morning, Begonia. Due to the hurricane, Congress began opening jobs to help with the destruction and financial problems harming the people. However, the policy that intended to aid the country has only hurt the country further. Debt was caused among households due to an uncontrollable rise in inflation during the hurricane, and the lack of household income even with boosted employment. Additionally, many Begonians took out loans that they now do not have the money to pay for, further increasing their debt. A number of new strategies are meant to aid with these issues, including a further decrease in taxes and increase in transfer payments. The monetary policy also continues to decrease interest rates and reserve requirements. The government is trying to watch their spending as much as possible, offering to help the people, but limiting the amount of money they put into businesses as to not increase inflation further. These measures should aid in decreasing debt among Begonians.
Good morning, Begonia. Global economic downturn affects exported goods and causes GDP in Begonia to decline. The reduced GDP has led to an economic contraction with more potential for job losses, despite the new strategies the government has used to increase jobs for the people. This reduction also leads to a low standard of living for the 2 million people in Begonia Island. In this current situation, there is a new implementation entering the market of expansionary fiscal policy with increased government spending and monetary policy with the low interest rates to help stimulate the domestic demand. The government also plans to reduce the strength of its dollar, weakening it to make the exports cheaper and aid in other parts of the country. Thank you.